to put out quality content and hope that people who are already doing the same thing mess up or something like that.
So how does that work with TV shows, right? So like if it's 10 seasons you get syndication, then there is this argument. There's a lot of people, myself included, that won't watch a television show in its first season because the season's not long enough. And so then it's like, okay, well, I'll just watch it once they have a couple. But if we all do that,
then there's no season
then
two.
Don't they drop it because they're like, well,
nobody's interested.
Nobody's interested. So like, how these games? So if we can look at these games once they're 10 years old and know that some of what they're doing is valid or some of what they're doing is not valid, like how does that work when they're less than 10 years old? Like if we ignore every game that's less than 10, then they don't get the feedback necessary to like give them a fair rating at the decade mark.
Yeah, it's a real big problem within MMOs, and especially because you're also now talking about kind of a business model shift that has occurred within that. We were talking about Diablo pricing earlier, but when you look at also like what pricing models that are generally easy to get people involved in, it's nothing that everybody who's a veteran is like, yeah, let's go with that model because we love it. The free to play, pay to win model, baby. Like it ends up being like this mindset. And with there's so many different business models and shifting away from the subscription, which has acted as a wall. And for the longest time, I liked the subscription model because it made everybody on the same page. Like everybody's here. We've all paid, to get into the club, we all have skin in the game. I think it's the fairest model. But then you look at like games, there's not 5 different subscription MMOs out there that are dominating kind of that space. Everything is kind of shifted generationally into that free to play, or my hope is the buy to play, like Guild Wars 2. I think they were way ahead of their time. Again, like we said earlier, like it's the ultimate dev MMORPG. Like the devs are like,
you want to work on MMOs, you should be playing Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, that's what you need to study, hands down.
I would argue everybody else should too, but let's start with the devs.
Mm-hmm. And then like Blue Bergen says, track record plays a major role here too. I will never play an Amazon game out of the box because they have really a bad track record. And I think that the question or the pushback that I would have is that, how so? Like what constitutes a bad track record? If they abandoned New World, I would agree with you, but they're not EA where they well, we tried and then shut it down. I know the Crucible was shut down, but I was actually really happy they did that. I felt like that was the right call. I didn't think there was any saving grace that they could try to like eke out with that game. What do you think?
Yeah, I think canceled projects on their own, like for an established studio, are actually a sign that it's healthy. Like that if Square Enix started working on 5 games and 3 of them don't make it to market, that is that they are managing their capital in a way where they're saying, I don't need an idea to make it. If it's not turning out fun, we can quit. We set aside enough money to take X number of projects to this milestone, and then we were only going to let the strong one move on. And that's really cool. Unfortunately, like they had to do that like right out of the gate. So like it's a little scarier when somebody it's not like, oh, they're doing it because they know what a good game is. They don't know what any game is. They haven't released anything. So I do think there is like some natural unease with Amazon doing that like really early on. And their counterpoint to that has to be New World.